All right. Well, good afternoon. It's Nikki Ramirez here, and I am getting together virtually, of course, with my good friend Drew. And we are coming together today to talk about a topic that I feel is super timely and it's really important right now when we think about the overall way that the workforce is ebbing and flowing and shifting. And so I'm really excited to talk to you, Drew. For anybody that I haven't met yet, again, I'm Nikki and I'm the founder and principal consultant at hranswers.org. And we are an HR consulting firm that helps employers create workplaces that their employees love. And I'll just leave it at that because I'm really excited to talk to Drew today about ways that we can build a culture of wellness in the workplace and activities that he helps people engage in within their organizations to help promote that healthy workplace. And I would just love, Drew, for you to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and also just kind of how you're doing in this day and age and what do you do, who do you do it for, and how are you?
Yeah, Nikki, thank you. Super excited to be here and to connect with you virtually. My name is Drew Science, and my company is called Team Up Health and Fitness. I started it in college, so I graduated from ASU in 2015 and hit the ground running right out of school to start my corporate wellness company here in the Phoenix area. I saw that. Go ASU. And I've been doing good. This transition has made me very busy because we do a lot of on-site fitness programs, we do a lot of on-site workshops, and those quickly had to be canceled. And our clients are engaged in the program, their employees are engaged in the program, and now it's like, do we just take it away? So no, we had to pivot and make that stuff available online, and that's created a lot of extra work for my team and I. But luckily, cutting out our commute, cutting out all the extra stuff we were doing going on site, we've been able to make it happen. So I think we've got six different sites right now with virtual offerings that were on site. So that's kind of crazy. But we are plugging away, doing well. My family and I live in the Gilbert area, so kind of close to you, Nikki, East Valley. But yeah, I've got a 2-year-old at home, and he's running around like crazy. He does not miss having to leave the house. He loves being at home,
Yeah.
and I'm doing well too. I'm actually at my co-working space, and they let me still come in because it's just me and one other guy, and it's close to the public. So that's where I've been working out of lately.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I ran by our office. We have a virtual office as well that we can kind of go in and co-work in Gilbert. And I ran by yesterday just to pick up some mail, and it was just quiet as could be, which I was thankful for because we haven't been getting out much during this time, just trying to stay home and stay healthy since we don't have to be out. But yeah, this virtual shift has been, in a lot of ways, really exciting to watch, as an entrepreneur and business owner, and also, just kind of trying to figure out how we can best deliver, continuity of services to our clients. Like you're talking about, you already have folks that you're working with. And then, I would bet that now, as people are trying to figure out, how do I live happy and healthy right now, I am thinking about it for myself and my own team. How can we live our sort of best, happy, healthy life right now with the constraints that we do have? And so, I would love to just hear a little bit more about how, what are you offering for your clients and what's your best advice for a business leader right now that's trying to engage in wellness with their employees and keep them sort of supplied from a wellness perspective.
Yeah, great question. There's definitely a lot there to unpack. So I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I'm noticing currently is that it's very important. We've got some big clients that are undergoing budget cuts, layoffs, all kinds of heavy stuff, but wellness is still top priority because they know the team that they are keeping on needs to be available. It needs to be able to work for them. So I would say the first thing is what not to do. If you've been on Facebook or the internet at all lately, every single live streaming fitness service seems to be offering something for free, which is awesome. But my from a behavior change and a health coaching perspective, if you have a team that isn't necessarily exercising currently, by giving them free access to something on their computer, it may not motivate them. So I would say first, just make sure that you're able to meet your team where they're at and get a good sense of what they need. Like for example, we had a client site that we just did a survey in March because we were doing a few things with them. They wanted to do more. We just implemented it in March, and then now we can't go on site, so we have to survey again, right? Because it's ever changing. So I would say one, definitely find out kind of where your workforce is at currently in regards to what they're already engaging
Good. Good advice. Yeah, and I think, for my little team, we have a wide range of abilities too. So our administrative assistant is paraplegic. She uses a wheelchair. And then the other team members and I are, kind of in our 40s-ish and, maybe creeping up there a little bit older, but we're not spring chickens anymore. So we try to be careful, and each of us has been trying to share a little bit about our routine. Are we getting out and walking, getting some sunshine? I was telling you before we started recording, of course, I have a Peloton bike that I love to ride, but what are some of the, when you think about, the types of activities that teams are working with you to engage in, or that teams are looking at right now? And, and I like the idea that they're kind of customized to the participants, that idea of just, getting going and trying something, especially something free that hasn't really been tested for the group. It makes me a little bit nervous, that it wouldn't maybe serve its purpose. So like, what are people doing that, what are your clients' employees doing that are working with you virtually right now? And what are some of the programs or activities that you guys work on that seem to be helping them feel good right now?
Yeah, it seems like one of the things that's working really well is just promoting the team getting together. So we do what we call group health coaching, and in these environments, it's like between 4 and 10 team members. There's a topic that we talk about, but really it's an opportunity for the group to go around and kind of share obstacles and struggles that they're facing in their current health,
Mhm.
and then they can source those ideas from their peers. So, for example, like you said, your personal workforce is very different. When you get in a group, I bet if someone had a question about using a spin bike or getting over a physical obstacle, someone else within that group is going to have an answer for them. So I think that's right away. That's a good way to just help people feel better. Is get them together and talk about health. And it's okay to address the variables. It's okay to know that you have one team member that's much more capable than the others. But if you can kind of pull your resources and provide programs for everybody, it'll definitely help them feel valued during this time. And it'll also give them activities to promote and to participate in, and they'll think about their workplace when they're doing it.
Good. Oh, I like that. And I like the idea that people would be able to come together and talk about their health and, the well-being. And, I think from a HR perspective, there's kind of an old school way of thinking that sort of leave your personal problems, leave your personal self at the door and come to work and just do your work. And that's, when I started in HR 20 years ago, that was absolutely the mantra. Like it was hang your problems at the door and come on in. And I think we've just come so far in the last couple of decades where we shouldn't be afraid to engage in wellness activities with our coworkers. We shouldn't be afraid to let our supervisor know when we're struggling so that we can get the kind of support that we need. And and I'm glad that that people have you to lean on in terms of facilitating that kind of an activity, because I think there are probably, and I say it and then I laugh thinking about some of the people that like supervisors, managers, directors. I can think of a lot of people that I would not want facilitating a wellness group. And they probably have really good intentions, but they just don't have the skills to, keep things moving in the right direction. So I'm glad to hear that that's something that you're capable of doing.
Yeah, and
What else?
what? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what else are you thinking about? What else do you think is important to share at this time? We're in such an unusual time, and that's the word I've decided to use. It's just unusual. Things are
Yeah.
unusual. Businesses, I've worked with tons of companies who've had to reduce their force and change the way that they're doing work. It's unusual. So what else are you thinking about and sharing?
Yeah, I think so in regards to your internal team, definitely leveraging them. For example, we have a client that does live meditations, and
Oh,
two different clients actually. One that does live meditations, it's ran by an internal employee, which is phenomenal. It doesn't cost them anything. There's kind of a welcoming environment because you know the face of who's going to lead the meditation. No one wants to jump on a screen and just meditate with someone that they've never met. So that's really cool. I also think with the other client, one of the employees is a certified yoga instructor, so she's able to do the live stream classes. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to just say, hey, here's a free online program, you can just do it. But if you can promote the togetherness where the people are on the screen with each other and they're seeing their peers, they're absolutely going to go there And I know better than most people, once we can get people actually exercising, they're going to get those endorphins going. They're going to feel better. They're going to be more engaged in their body and in the moment and less worried about all the unknown that we have in the months ahead of us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that that link that we have between our mind and our body is really important to acknowledge too. And I know, do you know my old secret that I'm a certified spin instructor? Did you ever know that?
No, that's awesome. I didn't know
And I
that. That's
have
so
never
cool.
taught a class. I love to take classes. And at one point, maybe 10 years ago, it was probably 10 years ago, I was taking classes just all the time, like just going ham on it, just all the time riding the bike. And then I was like, maybe I'll just quit my job and be a spin instructor. And that was silly. I wasn't going to quit, but but I've always kept it because I just think it's funny. So I take the test and do my hours every year. But but what
Yeah, no, that's thanks for
so
sharing that. I,
But
I
when you think about the mind body, like if I don't do something, my point is like I've always liked to ride the bike, and so I mentioned I still do. But that link between our mind and our body is so important, and we can't underscore enough the importance of having something in place for our employees right now. I have friends that work in mental health, and they're providing support for employees through their employer now, private sessions more than group sessions, but employers are even trying to figure out ways to provide access to mental health support right now because of how unusual things are. But if they could balance that out with something like a structured wellness and health program, I think that that's a key to putting together a winning combination for these employees that are just trying to figure it out like everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you can integrate that into the workday. So, for example, you can do a
Mhm.
walking meeting, right? Think about your whole day, you've got, or your whole wellness program. Say you're a smaller company, maybe 10 to 15 people, and you're just trying to
Mhm.
navigate. If you have that EAP, you have the mental health piece in place, that's awesome. And then you
Yep.
can promote the doing the activities together. So maybe your conference call every week, maybe one of them is a call and you guys walk outside as opposed to being on a screen like we are.
Yep.
But yeah, really just piecing together. We have kind of our four pillars of wellness. So we have our mental health or emotional health, physical well-being, which is actually participating in doing something, financial. So of course, like addressing those things if you can within your program,
Mhm.
and professional as well. So talking about what's changing in maybe their business and their work environment and what their employees can do to get ready for that next step. So like for my team, I have a small team. There's 6 of us. We are going to need to be doing a lot more virtual education. So if I
Mhm.
have some coaches who are just personal trainers right now, I need to say, hey, listen, I need you guys to get more proficient in PowerPoint. I need you to practice your speaking skills because our workplace of the future is going to change. So like our clients is as well. So really trying to include that professional piece, I think it'll help people. We all need something to work towards, right? If we're just stuck in the day to day, watching the news, worried about our bank accounts or stimulus or whatever's happening, we need to get out of that and get into the actual activities and the actual enhancement of our lives. So if we can look at a professional life too during this time and give our employees resources and programs to participate in that gets us ready for what the workplace of the future is going to look like in 6 months, I think that will absolutely help people's mental health because it'll keep them engaged and moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. As we've sort of just, it feels like we're watching things unfold, because there's not a lot of control right now. And so
Mhm.
when we look at the different things that are happening from a financial perspective in our economy, it's definitely one of those situations where, yeah, I think calling in a financial advisor that we trust, and, lots of companies, lots of business owners and leaders have relationships with people that they could call on, and I'm sure that we have folks in our network too that are ready to help with that sort of thing. But I really like the way that you put it together in the four pillars. That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like setting up a table, right? Like we need to have the stability on all sides in order to create a great playing field. So that's good. That's awesome. Really good. Well, what else? Is there anything else that you were thinking about sharing, tips, tricks, ideas, Drew, or anything else that you would like us to know about the way that you serve the community, so that, if anybody is interested in dipping their toe in the water here and getting involved in workplace wellness, providing something for their team, what else is on your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I can share a little bit about what we do, and basically all those programs I just explained, like for example, the employee running the yoga and the meditation and the putting the walking groups together and all that good stuff. With our larger clients, I kind of insert myself within their HR team and help organize that for them. You know, what's the communication strategy look like? What's the promotion look like? So we do a lot of that for folks, and then live sessions too. So like I said, a lot of our on-site stuff went virtual, which I like virtual fitness, but if the community's not built first, participation is not really going to be there, you know?
Right.
So that's definitely something to think of. And you also want to keep in mind what people's home life what it has in store. Some people are going to have time at home to do these things. Some people aren't. So I think a good initial step, the way I would like to engage with folks listening is just offering an introductory, complimentary at-home exercise educational session. So what this does, like for example, we have a group rolling out an 8-week program. This is kind of the kickoff to the 8-week program. That's going to be at-home exercise. And with this at-home exercise session, we're going to teach folks how to, hey, dedicate a space in your home for physical activity. What equipment might you need? How do you communicate boundaries with your people in your home so they don't come in and walk in right during your workout, right? And then how do you kind of keep the mindset to stay consistent with that? So I would love if you're tuning in and you want to get something going for your employees, I'd love to offer a complimentary at-home exercise educational session where I'll explain just that, you know, how to dedicate the space in your home, what type of exercises to do, what equipment you need, and how you can stay consistent regardless of, you know, 10 kids, 2 kids, whatever you have going on at home.
I have 3 kids. They're all older, but sometimes they feel like a tornado of kids, and they're not too like you're cute kid. You're the cutest kid, by the way. Oh
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, but it's hard, right? And I think that sounds like a really awesome offering because I think that being set up for success is like half the battle or more. So I think that'll be that. I hope that lots of folks give you a call or take you up on that offer to do an introductory session so that people can at least build a space that works for them. You know, we've been in the last few weeks helping employers write telework policies, work from home policies, and then our contract attorney put together a really great agreement that employers and their employees can sign for this new virtual way that we do work. And a piece of it is, you know, mapping out your workspace, making sure it's a safe space, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of the same thing that you have going on, that anytime that we want to be successful, we got to put some structure around it. So that's really cool. I like
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Really.
Have you done a family boot camp yet? All 5 of you working out together?
We've done some funny things, but I would sure love an idea of what we could be doing. We set up, backyard Olympics not long ago. We actually have a shot put ball. Is that the 12-pound metal ball? Is that called shot put?
I think so. I never did
Okay,
track, but I think so.
one of my kids did track for 1 year, and he was throwing a shot put, and it's like this big heavy metal ball. So we all took turns doing that. Did jump rope. We have a boxing, like a stand-up bag in the backyard. So we tried an Olympics, but yeah, I would love any ideas that you have to keep us moving over here.
Yeah, I think Peloton just launched a kid program. I'm pretty
Oh, did
sure.
they?
So yeah, if you can't use your bike, stream it on your TV or something.
Yeah. Really good. Awesome, Drew. Well, it has been a pleasure to chat with you. I just think that wellness overall, you know, looking at taking care of our employees from a real holistic perspective is so important right now, especially for those employers that have essential workers. So people that are not just, you know, we're not taking time off and kind of in a holding pattern. That's one group that I feel like we really need to tap in and take care of. And then also our employees that may have less work to do, but they're at home and they're just, you know, they're not sure how to fill their time with the healthiest habits and stuff like that, you know, and all the jokes and memes aside, you know, I think we can fall into bad habits when we are home all the time. You know, being sort of quarantined can lead to some bad habits. And so I think that anything that we can do to support our employees' overall wellness is going to support their success at work. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing. And what's the best place for people to find you, or how could they get a hold of you to learn a little bit more about how you can help them and guide them in their business?
Good. Real quick, Nikki, I'm gonna
Yeah.
backtrack.
Oh, go
I'll
ahead.
tell I'll tell you that, but one thing that spoke to me when you were talking about the healthy habits in home is I think during this time more than ever, it's very important for leaders to be vulnerable and share their personal, maybe not necessarily their personal routine like what they do,
Sure.
but their personal experience with wellness and how participating in wellness-based activities is helping them fuel their professional life, and showing a little bit of vulnerability about how they're adapting to. So I just think when you're communicating any wellness initiatives, definitely have your leader send it out and be a little bit vulnerable there, letting them know, this is helping me because of X, Y, and Z, that it's just not another task for their employees to do each day.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Oh, absolutely. That's a great point.
And I am probably most active on LinkedIn, just
Okay.
with my name, Drew Saenz, Saenz, and I've been really diligent about updating our blog on teamupwellness.com. So I keep
Okay.
that pretty up to date, at least biweekly.
Okay, really good, really good. Well, we'll definitely look forward to sharing this information with our clients and our network. And I hope that folks put wellness front and center as we get into this spring and head into summer. And we will see what unfolds from a more global perspective. And I can't wait to check in with you again sometime in the near future and just see how things are going and what new ideas you have for us. So thanks a lot. Anything left to say?
No, thank you, Nikki. I appreciate your time today and making this happen.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, Drew. Thank you so much.